We take a lot out of it. Yeah, it's not so much from the result. Obviously, we change the scoreboard during the game, and it's not really about that. It's about how does the team play together. It's really two separate games. We play up to half time with two sides and then mix it in a little bit more. But it was pleasing, more so to get to the end of the game and probably have one disappointment with Maxi and his thumb, but we're hoping that's nothing major. But for the group to get through, they play so hard in these intra-clubs. You've got to go 100%. To have the group get through the way they did was really pleasing.
What were the pleasing aspects for you outside of everyone apart from Maxi getting through?
Oh, I mean, we play an experienced side in that first half, and for them to dominate the way they did was pleasing because that was a team effort. That was really what we were looking for in that first half. There's a lot more experience on that side. Guys that have played a lot of footy, and we want them to play more footy together. So for them to perform the way they did, no, I didn't think there were any real major individuals that stood out. I thought it was a great team effort. With some sprinklings and some really positive stuff. I thought Alex Neil-Bullen, just the way he settled into the group and impacted early in that was pleasing, and there were others, but overall it's the team performance.
It must be nice when you say not individual, we have Neil-Bullen, and Heatley, two new recruits to come in, and amongst the best, when you say
Yeah, and then I could name a lot more, but those guys to come in and stand out, they've been doing that right throughout pre-season. Coming to a new club, they want to impress, and they've done a fantastic job of doing that. Even Sid today, I thought, for a first-year player, showed he's got what it takes at the level. There's still a lot of work-ons, but it's a really positive sign for the footy club.
Do you think we could see him debut round one, Sid?
Yeah, it'll depend how the next couple of weeks go, but I see where his game's at the moment. He has attributes that I think will come through at a higher level. I think the higher level of footy he's played, he's stepped up each time, and that's a really good sign for a young kid. Today was a great performance in that first half, playing alongside Dawson and Saligo and Matt Crouch. So there's no guarantees there. We're going to work through that, and we've still got a fair bit of footy before round one.
It looks like based off this and I guess the teams you've had in match simulation and training, you're pretty close to knowing what your best team is, for round one.
I'd like to say that, yeah, but no, actually, it's probably best that I don't, because the positive part is we've got guys that are still knocking on the door that we can't play them all in the one side at the moment. And so there were some unlucky ones today. Pedler has been in great form and took a little knock to his eardrum early today, which we didn't want to take any risk with that. No concussion, but no risk around him. He's been in great form, but didn't play in that blue side or our more experienced side to start with. So there are still guys knocking on the door that are saying, I want to be there round one, which is a positive for us.
Is Luke just one of those guys who just seems to, it's a random injury tonight, but just every time he gets going, there's this little something?
Well, Peds, he's a warrior, so he's one of those guys that throws his head into everything, leaves nothing out there. He was very unlucky. It was the first stoppage of the day, and he just got sideswiped, just a little knock to the eardrum, and just right in the sweet spot. So he'll be okay. He'll battle back off of that, and he's still got an opportunity the next couple of weeks.
How impressed were you with James Peatling? He looked class in that midfield, bursting away from stoppage. What is he going to add to that group?
Oh, that's why we sort of went after him. He's extremely clean, and we're big on players that are clean with the ball. They're one take, they make the game slow down, and he showed a little bit of that today. He's shown that right throughout our pre-season. All of our stoppage work, all of our contest work, he's very clean, very good with his hands. Similar to a Matt Crouch, and then has some different attributes in around that. So we were really pleased that we were able to get him to the footy club, along with the others, but today was a great sign of what's to come.
Is he going to be predominantly midfield? We've kind of seen him go mid-forward, maybe on the wing a bit in training, but actually out there he was predominantly midfield.
Yeah, we'd like to think we keep him around the footy, but it's we'll play our team on form. I mentioned some of the other players that go through there that they're in good form as well. So it'll be a week to week on where we see our opposition, and hopefully we're in a position where our list is healthy and we are able to do that we're not picking from less. At the moment we've got pretty good availability, and that's a credit to our high performance group, done an amazing job over this off season, as well as our players who have trained like they've done for years now. So we're hardened, you just need a bit of luck in that area. Pedler is an example today. It's a contact injury that you can't avoid, and so we'd like a bit of luck in that over the next 3 or 4 weeks, and then we'll hit round one, with a good squad.
How much of a good headache is that midfield depth at the moment? Like Taylor and Dowling and guys who were playing senior footy last year. Rankin's not here today, and it's still pretty stout.
Yeah, well, it just shows that we've got guys that are young that have played and had a taste of the level. They're hungry, but they know there's still work-ons, and there's guys that are coming in that deserve the spot. So it's what we're looking for. We want depth in our squad. This year, there's no doubt we've brought in some players that are experienced and played some footy at a high level, and we're thinking they're going to add to our group.
Josh Rachele with 3 goals when you had the more experienced side in the first half. I mean, there's a little bit of scepticism when you said he had the best preseason, one of the best preseasons you've ever seen. For him to come out and do that, you must be feeling pretty happy.
You didn't believe me. He's gone to work. He's put his head down and gone to work because he's a pro. He's still got work-ons. He's one of those young guys, as we all do and all did at that age. But he's getting reward for hard work over the break. And the group know that, so the group are getting around him. The group he's playing in and alongside, Alex Newell and Ben Keys, playing alongside him at the moment, I think is really helping with that. And he knows it. And so for him to embrace that and go to work in the break, we're really pleased.
Has he turned that corner this pre-season? You think obviously dropped last year. Do you think he has turned that corner? That was a real, kick.
I think his footy's always been at a very high level. So there's no issues around his work rate and what he's doing there. I think he's given himself to the team this break. I think we haven't selected our leadership group for the year, but Josh has made big ground in that space. He's really stepped up, worked with our young group. He would definitely be a leader of our young group at the moment.
On having Neil Bullen in there, having Neil Bullen for Josh on a personal level, how big do you think that's going to be in his development?
Oh, I think it's for our entire group. It's not just one player. Alex is a unique player. He was a fantastic leader at the Melbourne Footy Club that had a lot more experience than what we do, and so for him to come here and bring that experience, he's just behaving the way he did. It's just who he is. He's and it's on and off field. He's as good as I've seen off field, and the on field stuff, I thought he led by example today. He's so clean with the ball. He makes the game look a little bit easier, which is why we value it so much.
So should we expect him to be in the leadership group, Alex?
Well, we'll get together and we'll put together our thoughts as players and coaches, but I've got no doubt his name will be a prominent one when we do discuss it.
If round one was tomorrow or next week, with Dan Curtin being that team?
He's going really well, Dan. Another guy who worked in the break, I don't know if I've told you this, but he went away, worked with a speed coach back in WA, and there are some guys that are just pros. He was an early draft pick for a reason. He's a competitor. He had a fair bit to work on when it came to the balance of his body. He was a big kid, but a big young kid, where he hadn't quite balanced it out yet. He's embraced the gym. He looks so much stronger at the moment. And another player that when there's a ball there to be won, it's one take, and then he executes. And so, to answer your question, if he continues and things keep going well, he's definitely got his name up there.
How do you make sure it isn't too tall if you have him, Fogg, Tex and Philthorpe in a forward line?
I just start to Tex, you got to work hard, mate, and start running around getting ground balls. We'll play players that we believe are going to make us better. It's not necessarily a height thing, because I think Dan's shown that he does fight one-on-one when the ball's on the ground. Darcy Fogarty does the same. Even Riley Philthorpe, for such a larger player, is quite strong when the ball's on the ground. But there is part of it where we don't want teams to run out and challenge those guys too much the other way, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Is it a bit against trend almost? You look at Hawthorn and Port go out and get a bunch of small forwards. There are a lot of mosquito fleets getting around that, so to have 3 or 4 talls, is that a challenge, or can that be a point of difference? Yeah,
it's one we worked through last year. We've worked through it for a few years now and questioned ourselves at time about, have we got enough pressure when it hits the deck or when Oppo are taking us on. We'll keep working on it. We train it. We expect our bigger guys to go hard and tackle and chase. But there may be a point where too many talls is too many.
Is Matt Marcolani now an attacking halfback? That little bit where he was on the ground, he had a couple of just absolute bursts off halfback and was getting the forward 50.
we encourage our guys when we get an opportunity, we want to take the game on. It's something off the back of last year. We didn't feel like we attacked our oppo when we had opportunities. We were a little bit passive when it came to that, and maybe that's something we looked at during the off season after 23. We're going to try and fix that this year. Maxi's a part of that. Lairdy off half-back. Our wingers getting busy. So hopefully that showed today with some of our intercept in that first half.
Last couple of boys, just spot on the bus.
Yeah, Lockie's been great. We brought him in, knowing that Kieran wouldn't be there throughout this pre-season, and we needed someone to really work hard and challenge Rob, like he did today. You would have seen that, and that's been right throughout. Credit to him, because he's really taken it to Rob, and Rob's improved because of it. So we'll see where that one gets to and how it plays out.
You finally got Neil Baum to the Crows in a board director role.
Yeah.
You finally got a couple of years in the making.
Yeah, it's great. We continue to want to add good people, and we've been able to do that, with Barmy and with Gag. So 2 more great people, really strong footy knowledge, we're able to bring into our footy club.
Are you feeling that already? There was a lot of talk about you needing extra support in your role at the end of last year with Murray and now Barmy. There's been a lot of focus there. Are you feeling the effects of that already?
Yeah, I'm a very lucky coach. I've got a club that want to do whatever they can for us to succeed. And so there's great people that I've got around me, and as you mentioned, Murray's come in. He's slotted straight into our coaching group. That dynamic is working really well at the moment, and as we mentioned, 2 others to come in at board level. It's really pleasing. I've got that support I need.
Is there any 1 or 2 things you took out of your time in the States, whether that's at Harvard or with the teams?
Oh yeah, Harvard was an incredible experience. Do a lot of work on your purpose, what it is you want to achieve in life, and so I take a lot away from that, and a lot of good networks. Boston Celtics wasn't a bad organisation either. They're doing all right. Keep an eye on that young
Can you get
Tom.
Tatum over, or?
Actually, he would be a bad player. Yeah.